So, as a fellow introvert myself, I know how difficult it could be a YouTuber or be on social media. If you're new here, my name is Indy. I'm known as Dudes by Indy on Instagram and TikTok. I feel like if you have a business or a brand, you should have some sort of presence in your brand. I feel like the most successful brands that I see always has a face to the brand. And it's not to say that not showing your face will disable you from being successful, but I feel like I see a lot of people loving and wanting to support those that they can relate to. Someone they can physically see and not just a product. People love to see the person and how the product was created, hence having to have some sort of social presence. And I feel like when you think of having a social presence on YouTube or on social media, someone who is bubbly, who's charismatic, but you don't necessarily have to be any of those things to be a YouTuber. There's someone out there for everyone. So in this video, I'll be going over some tips that helped me kind of get over the fear of talking in front of a camera and being on YouTube. Okay, the first tip is to know that everyone is scared of starting, because it is kind of scary to put yourself out there in the world and have all your friends and your family find you, and sometimes like you don't even know where to begin. And you have all these thoughts of like, what if I put myself out there and it doesn't work out? But I feel like there's so many videos out there that's like, I have posted hundreds of videos out there and it was the 100th one that finally blew up, and now I'm making all this money. So you never know what's gonna happen. Like I said before, there is something for everyone out there, and you may be able to fill that person's cup. And in the same topic, it is very hard to start just talking to a camera, but with time and practice, it will get easier, trust me. I'm sure if you look at my first few videos, or even like a very popular YouTuber's first video, it's gonna look very cringy and awkward and just like unnatural, because it is very awkward and unnatural to talk to a camera. But the great thing about YouTube and social media is there's the magic of editing. You can always edit out any stutters that you have, any mistakes that you make. You could recite the line over and over again and no one will know, because you'll edit all that out. So don't feel like you're sounding stupid or something because you in real life are messing up your lines. So I think for this tip, when you first start out, I think what you should focus on is just the content of what you want to make. I feel like your personality will shine through in later videos when you get more comfortable in front of a camera. But in the beginning, it's just more about putting yourself out there so that people know who you are, what you're about, and followers, subscribers will come through with time. And then my second tip is to not necessarily niche down, which I feel like everyone tells you to do so that people can go to your channel or your page and know exactly what you're about. Sometimes I feel like you're pigeonholing yourself by niching down, because I feel like if you do that, you're not allowing yourself to expand your space and your community. For example, I feel like when I first started watching YouTube, it was with a bunch of like beauty influencers, gurus like Jen M or Michelle Phan, and they started off with just beauty and nothing else. And now look at them expand their channel to lifestyle vlogs, fitness, parenting, everything of that sort. They're not just niching down on beauty, but they are known for their beauty hacks and everything still, because they still incorporate that in their channel. You don't necessarily have to stick to one thing. So even for this channel, I am known for, art and Etsy, but I could also do other things as well, such as maybe journaling using my stickers, or maybe even like a vlog of my day-to-day of being a small business owner that not necessarily like has to include my products or anything, but just like what I do on a daily basis that's not like continuously selling you my product. And as Gary Vee once said, like anything can be content, like literally anything. You could do your daily life, you could do book talks, you could review things, you could review movies, products you love. Anything could be content, so you just have to actually start. And then kind of relating this next tip to the first tip that we had of just starting out, I feel like talking to a camera is like an introvert's dream. You're literally just talking to yourself. You're not talking to anybody else. It's just you and the camera. No one's looking at you, and because of editing, like I said, you can edit out all the mistakes that you have, all the stutters, any messed up lines, things of that sort. No one's gonna know. You don't even have to stress about any awkward pauses, because if you want to pause, you pause and then you just edit that pause out. So my next tip is to have some sort of outline or script for your video so that you don't have to think on the spot. I think one thing that I'm always anxious about as an introvert is if I'm saying something wrong or if there's an awkward pause. So if I have a script and I know what I'm kind of going to say, then I would be less stressed out. And there's two ways that you can do this. You can either have an outline or a script. With an outline, I feel like it provides more of a conversational video instead of you seeming like you're reading off a prompt or a script. So with a script, you're literally writing word for word what you're wanting to say, which is totally fine because I feel like when I first started off YouTube, I had that script. I felt like I was so scared of not knowing what to say and having that like awkward pause, so I needed word for word what I was going to say in this video and all the points that I want to get across. So having that script was very helpful. I would say as time has gone by and with more practice, I was able to move towards more of an outline where I can still have my points get across and my ideas, but it's more just free balling and like saying what I feel like saying. Sometimes it helps, sometimes I have more of a script, but majority of the time I do now have bullet points because it is kind of time consuming to know word for word what you want to say, but it does help a lot, especially when you're not the best when it comes to conversing all your thoughts in a video. And I have made the mistake of not having either script or outline, and I struggled a lot while filming because I felt like I was just rambling and I was just all over the place. So I feel like every YouTuber, whether you're professional or introvert like me, has some sort of script or outline, because there's no way someone can just talk to a camera and know exactly all the points that they want to get through. Okay, so the next tip is regarding just getting over your fear of being found. I feel like one of the reasons why we don't want to even start YouTube or social media is because we are scared of being found. At least that was one of my fears. As an introvert, someone who kind of never really wanted to stand out, I've never been someone who put myself out there. If anything, I'm someone who just hides in a corner. So it was definitely a leap of faith for me to just even post my first video, or no, even just getting the camera and talking to it, because the next step would be to post it and have all my friends and family find me. And I feel like it's not even that my friends and my family are being unsupportive with my YouTube channel and my small business, but I feel like oftentimes we kind of just put a spotlight on ourselves and feel like everyone is staring and judging you, and just finding any flaw in your personality, yourself, your video, and everything else in between. And as an introvert, it is very scary to literally put yourself out there and be under that spotlight and and not feel like you're seeking attention, because that is the last thing that you want. Like, because I feel like I have such a fear of being the center of attention. Like, even when my friends tell me that they're watching my video or that they're literally watching my video in front of me, I get so embarrassed because I just hate being the center of attention. But at the end of the day, you know what? Like, YouTube and putting yourself out there is good practice, honestly, to not being such an extreme introvert. Having a YouTube channel, I don't know, at least for me, has been really great because it has allowed me to not only come out of my comfort zone a little bit in front of all my friends, but it also has helped me with public speaking, being myself a little bit, because I feel like sometimes when you're in a crowded room, you can't really be yourself, or you're afraid to be yourself. So with YouTube, once you got more comfortable in front of a camera, you can just have your personality shine. And that's one thing that I would always take away from YouTube itself, because it has allowed me to do all of that. So that is it for this video. I hope you learned a little bit about my journey as introvert, starting YouTube and being on social media, and hopefully you can take these tips with you so that you can start your own channel.